Okay, so it looks like it is 3:01, so we are going to get started. Good afternoon, and thanks for joining us. My name is Beth Schultz. I work at the Metropolitan Council. I am in the HR department, and I am in charge of hiring and recruiting interns for our internship program. I have been with the council for almost 8 years now. I started out as an intern, and I was an intern for 2 years over in our bus maintenance um, division, working with new technicians coming in and all the behind the scenes work that goes into maintaining the buses. So that's a little bit about me. I do have a team member with me here today. Nusa, would you like to introduce yourself?
Yes. Hi, everyone. My name is Nusa. I am the talent acquisition specialist intern. I work with Bethany and Louise on the internship program. I have been at the council since February, so it's going to be about a year pretty soon. I'm a senior at Metro State studying communications, and that's a little bit about me. Back to you, Beth.
Thank you. So today we are going to cover a variety of different topics. We did receive your questions if you put them in there. Hopefully we can answer all of them today. We will go over a little bit about the council, the details about our different divisions. We'll talk about the internship. We'll learn about the Met Scholars, and we'll also talk with panel members that are current interns or were previously interns. And then we'll just wrap it up with some questions. Uh, know that you can chat us in the Q&A box. You're welcome to send us any questions and we'll answer them as soon as we can. If not, if we're not sure, hopefully that doesn't happen, we will grab your email address and we will send you an email with your answer. And that also goes along if you think of questions down the road, tomorrow, next week, and you want to email us, you're welcome to do so. We do check that email regularly. So before we get started, I'm just going to give you a brief overview of some of the features and settings about Microsoft Teams. So some things to go over. This meeting is recorded and it will be posted on our YouTube channel and also on our website. So you can view this later down the road. And then we'll also send a follow-up email link with the video tomorrow, so you can refer back to this at any time. If you'd like to add closed captioning, you can click the little three dots or the ellipses up in the top where it says more, and then use the drop-down menu and select turn on live captioning. You can also access your event settings to change the caption language if you'd like to do so. If you are having any technical difficulties during this meeting, it often helps if you leave and then join back in, or if you're using your phone to go through Chrome or Edge, if you're using like a web browser or something. If you are still having issues, you're welcome to message us in the Q&A and we will try to help you resolve the issue. Now that we have some housekeeping guidelines under, we are going to get started. Thanks again for joining, and I'm excited to show you who we are. So, who are we? We are located in the Twin Cities. We employ over 4,000 employees, so we are a large organization. We are considered public sector, and we service the communities within the Twin Cities area. We have 5 divisions. You've probably heard or seen at least one of them before. And we do have a chairperson, which is Chair Zelli. And we have 16 council members that are responsible for making decisions and everything. Something that's unique about us is that we do report to the governor. So if you kind of think to yourself, have you ever rode on a Metro Transit bus? Have you ever rode on the light rail? Every time you flush your toilet, we are responsible for cleaning that water. So thank you for supporting us. So our mission is to foster efficiency and economic growth for a prosperous region. We also have planning and a variety of different services that we offer to everyone in the Twin Cities. Okay, and so that's a little bit about who we are. Let's dive into the internships. So the good stuff here. We do have more than 90 total internship positions that we are seeking interns for. You're welcome to apply to as many as you'd like. If you'd like to apply to every single position, you're welcome to do so. I would recommend getting started now. um, but you can apply for as many as you'd like. If there's only one that interests you, you're welcome to just apply for that. All of our internships are paid. They are paid at $22.20, so not bad for an intern gig. We offer extensive hands-on experience, and you'll have the opportunity to be coached and mentored during your internship here with us. So you'll get a mentor, you'll have check-ins, you're going to experience everything that a full-time position would give you the opportunity for. Students of any year are welcome to apply. So if you're a freshman, if you are a senior, anything in the middle, if you graduated in January or December, as long as it's within the last 12 months, you are welcome to apply. We do have some different and some cool intern programs that we offer. We have the Ability Program, which is more inclusive to individuals with disabilities. And we have 5 internship postings that are specifically for Ability intern or for Ability students. We also have the Met Scholars, which is a 12-week program. It does begin on May 30th, and it's just once a week. And it connects students and organizations in pursuit of an equitable workforce, providing leadership and professional development training to grow and build experience. Another big topic that I know you guys want to learn about is the telework schedule. So it's really difficult for us to say because we have so many different positions in different departments doing a little bit of everything. So it really depends on the internship and the department needs. If you'll be able to work remote, if you'll be in the office, if you'll have a hybrid schedule, that really depends on the type of work that you'll be doing. It's a great question to ask in your interview if you do get that. So I would recommend bringing it up and talking to the manager about that in your interview. A few other things I do want to cover. We do not offer any housing or food assistance. That would be something that you would have to find on your own. Another great opportunity we have is our internships are able to be extended part-time during the school year. So everyone will start May 20th, and we are flexible on that date. I know some schools are still in session that last week, so we are flexible with the start date, but most of our internships are summer only, and then they do have the opportunity to be extended part-time during the school year, and they can be extended for up to 1 year. So great opportunity to get some hands-on experience. And then there is a strong possibility for opportunities to convert to a full-time position. That was one of the great benefits that I took advantage of. I was an intern for 2 years, and then I was hired on full-time, and now I've been here for almost 8 years. So I am going to next show you how to access our web page to look at internship postings. I hope everyone can see this. So this is our main public website. So you can access our internship page by clicking on the internship bar up at the top. It's kind of lighter blue. And then if you scroll all the way down, you will see some information about our programs, the different types of internships. Yep, it talks a little bit about the different programs we offer. It talks about eligibility, what you need in order to be eligible to apply for an internship. And then if you'd like to see all of our internship postings, I'll have you click the arrow that says apply now. So that's going to bring you to all of our internships. We do have, like I said, over 90. So there is quite a variety. Something to note is there are page numbers at the bottom. So if you're not seeing a particular one, just click the page and keep going until you find it. Yep. Perfect. Claire, I'll have you click one of the postings. Yep, perfect. So this is a little bit, it talks about the position, what you're going to be doing, the requirements, the hiring manager's preferences of what they're looking for. So definitely read through these before applying and make sure you fit the qualifications. And like I said, you're welcome to apply for as many internships as you're interested in doing. And like I said, you're welcome to chat in the Q&A, and hopefully we can answer your questions if anything does arise. So next we are going to talk with our panel members who are either full-time employees or still interns, and we're going to hear about their experience. So we are joined by a total of 2 current interns and 2 former interns who are now employees at the council. They have generously taken time out of their day to help share their experience and how the program has helped their career. Panelists will just go one by one. If you could introduce yourself, tell the group whether you're a current intern or former intern, maybe give a few quick bullet points on what you do and your division within the council. Rio, would you like to go first?
Yep, I can kick us off. Hi, everyone. My name is Rio Ford. I'm a talent acquisition specialist on the HR department's talent management team. I've been in this role for going on 1 year now, and my primary focus is to recruit IT-related roles. My council experience doesn't just include this role, so I interned with the talent management group back in 2019, the same group I work with now, and it's been great to be back.
Thanks, Rio. Sudi, would you like to go next?
Yeah, hi everyone. Good afternoon. I'm Sudi Hashi. I'm the Associate Outreach Coordinator in the Environmental Services Division. I sit on the Workforce and Equity team. I was a former Urban Scholar, now called Met Scholars. I was in the program in 2018. And then I got extended for a year or so and then got hired on. And I've been here ever since. I do a lot of community outreach for our careers in environmental services and run some of our diversity, equity, and inclusion programming for the Environmental Services Division.
Thanks so much, Sudi. Connie?
Hi, everyone. I'm Connie Herman O'Connor. I am a current intern with Occupational Health with Regional Administration, and my role primarily consists of special projects focused mainly on safety-sensitive positions like drug testing pools and physical exam requirements. And I was part of the most recent internship cohort back from the end of May of this year. So I'm excited to be extended and continue working with the council.
Great. Faduma, would you like to introduce yourself?
Yes, thank you. Hi, my name is Faduma Mohammed. I'm an intern with the Office of Equity and Equal Opportunity. I specifically do ADA and Title VI work, so that usually consists of accessibility, physical, social, and digital, as well as making sure our Title VI program is enforced and regulations and requirements are met. And I've been here for about 1.5 years. Thank you.
Thank you. So we'll just, now that we've introduced everyone, I'm just going to ask the panel members a few questions and then they will answer. So Sudi, how did your internship help launch you into your career post-college?
Yeah, so like I mentioned, oh, am I muted? No, never mind. I was a part of the Urban Scholars program, now Met Scholars program, which was really allowed me to kind of have a lot of trainings around, diversity, equity, and inclusion. We had a lot of strength and personal development learning, and then inside of my internship, I really was involved in a lot of projects that were continuous and involved a lot of different departments in our division. And coming into the position, I really didn't know much about environmental services or the council. And as I was kind of figuring out what careers I wanted to pursue post-college, I really got the opportunity to kind of learn about kind of the inside parts of workforce development, how diversity and equity and inclusion can be kind of promoted within an organization. And that's really where I developed my passion. And I got the really cool opportunity with a lot of our internships. You get the option with your manager to get extended. And I was able to work part-time during my last year of college, and that really helped pivot me into my full-time career, where I got to apply for a position within the department I was working in and really continued to do this work. So that really was a great opportunity that I got from this internship to really get into a career that I enjoyed, that I was passionate about, and kind of got into an industry that I normally would not have gone into, and kind of aligned with my overall goals in college and kind of wanting to support and give back to the communities that I was from, but also from other underrepresented communities in terms of career progression and employment, and kind of overall workforce planning. So I think that was really the opportunity I got from this internship. And just as you're an intern, you'll kind of be involved in leading real life projects and programs, and not just being tasked with just general stereotypical like intern tasks that we usually hear about, but you'll be really involved in real projects that are ongoing, which is really cool about our internship programs with extensions. Like a lot of our interns get extended throughout the school year, and they kind of tie their projects to their capstones if they're like in their last years of college. And that really helps with kind of getting into a career post-college and really creating that pathway for you. So I think that's really how this internship helped me launch into my career post-college. And yeah, thank you.
Perfect. Okay, next, Connie. What does a typical day look like for an intern?
Yes, thank you for that question, Beth. So for me, I'm fortunate to work in a remote, hybrid, but mostly remote setting. So many of my days start from my home office, otherwise occasionally from our St. Paul location. Now, I often have at least one meeting with my team each day, often done virtually, which is very convenient for all of us. I also have weekly one-on-one check-ins with my boss, which is very useful, especially for mentorship and growth and just getting any kind of questions answered. And then so like I noted previously, I primarily work with special projects. So my role is very self-driven. I do a lot of research. I work with a lot of different applications that are primarily human resources related, like PeopleSoft. And most of my research then is compiled in spreadsheets and reports that I present to my coworkers, but also because my projects involve multiple departments, I coordinate and run meetings with other managers and stakeholders just to ensure that the work that I do reflects their needs as well. And I do want to note too, just as some of my other panelists have mentioned, this is actually impactful work. It's not just busy work. So I feel like it's very much met me where I'm at skill level wise. So I've been able to kind of build from where I was at. So it's been a really wonderful internship in that regard. I'll give it back to you, Beth.
Thank you. Perfect. Sounds good. Rio, how would you describe the organizational culture?
Sure, great question, Bethany. I think there are a lot of words that could really capture the council's culture, but the one that I truly appreciate the most is inclusive. The council is a very inclusive organization. A great example of this is our Pride Employee Resources Group. So not only does that group provide a space and great resources for our staff that are a part of the LGBTQ plus community, but they also provide resources for all employees to be allies. So yeah, I mean, I feel proud to be part of the council, and I stand behind their culture for sure.
Perfect. Thank you. Fadumo, are interns provided training or additional opportunities to learn new skills?
A great question, Bethany. And from my experience, yes, when I came on, I specifically received ADA and Title VI training. So I got to learn the processes of making accessible videos and documents, as well as presentations, especially during COVID, because we were at a time where we were really in a hybrid space. And then I really got to learn a lot about universal design and a lot of the aspects that make things more accessible and easier as you're designing a building or an elevator or an escalator, or depending on what the architecture is. And then I had the opportunity to also self-initiate a lot of trainings, especially in things I was interested in outside of my internship. And I was lucky enough to have my manager approve them. So if you want to do trainings that need to be paid for and that are outside the organization, there is an opportunity to dive deeper and learn more. And the nice thing is you get to apply the knowledge that you gain. So whenever I wanted to apply it to a presentation or a program, I really got a lot of support and really had a platform to move the things I was interested in forward. So it's been a really great opportunity, and I love it here, and I've been here for 1.5 years, and I'm excited to continue.
Awesome. Thank you. Rio, what kind of hands-on experience do interns get for their internship?
Sure, another great question. I think when most people think about internships, they think about, fetching coffee for the boss or pretty much doing the work that no one else wants to do. And while that's probably true for some internship opportunities, that couldn't be farther from the truth from internships at the council. So as I mentioned, I interned with the team that I currently work with, and a lot of the work that I did during my internship is either the same or directly relates to the work that I'm doing today. So for example, as an intern, I was given the opportunity to lead different recruitments and was exposed to different HR scenarios. So you really are boots on the ground with your internship. And I will say I largely credit my internship for the opportunity that I was given to come back as a regular full-time employee, just because of the skills and experiences that I gained during my internship program really set me up to transition nicely into a regular full-time position.
Perfect. Thank you. And then last question I have is for Connie. Why did you choose to be an intern with the council?
Yes, thank you, Beth. So for me, it was a few different elements that went into choosing this. So I wanted an internship that actually complemented my prior experience and education, and also something that could bridge any gaps in my skill level, which is very much what I found in my current position. But then I also really wanted something where I could bring my full self, my full identity to work and not feel like I had to hide parts of myself. Now, I have a mobility disability, so I identify as a disabled person. So I was fortunate enough to be part of the first ability intern program, the first cohort. So this is a little shout out to anyone who's attending who has a disability and is considering applying. I highly recommend it. It's been a wonderful addition to the council. So I'm very excited to see this program continue. So thank you for that question, Beth.
Yeah, absolutely. I just want to thank all the panel members for giving us your input and your experience about working with the council. So I think we're going to talk a little bit about the application process. So a few important dates to remember and to write down. All of our postings are currently live right now, and they will close on Sunday, January 1st. So definitely keep that in the back of your head, and to know that they close at midnight on the 1st. We will have interviews that will be conducted in February. The managers will be reaching out to you to set up interviews if you do get chosen. We will be giving offers, sending offer letters out during the month of April. And then all of our internships will start on May 30th. Like I said, I know there are a few schools that are still in session that last week, so we are flexible if we need to make accommodations or anything like that. Like I said, all of them will start on May 30th. We do have a very nice welcome week that we put together for all of our interns, where they get to network, do informational interviews. We do a bunch of different tours to a bus garage, a light rail garage. We go to the wastewater treatment plant. So there's a lot of stuff that you'll get to learn that first week. That's really exciting. I kind of touched base on this a little bit earlier, but I'll just bring it up again. Most of our internships will end on August 26th, and with the opportunity to be extended. You can be extended for up to 1 year. You can be extended for up to 1 year. It really depends on your availability, the department's need, and the department's need. So that would be a conversation for you and your manager, or to bring up during, again, your interview. Is a great time to talk about that. Eligibility for working with the council. So minimum qualifications. You must be enrolled in a second degree schooling. So a degree seeking program, or you can be a recent graduate. So if you've graduated in the last 12 months, you are eligible to apply for an internship. You must be a citizen or national of the United States. And then you also must have your F1 visa or for international students. And you need your OPT and CPT paperwork also. So supplemental questions, I am going to give everyone a little helpful hint here, a little tip or trick when you are applying for your internship. All of our positions have supplemental questions. Some of them are just kind of basic. What are you going to school for? What year are you? Things like that. And other questions might be a little more in depth or detailed. So it could be, how will this internship launch you into your career? And it's going to look for a short answer response. I always tell candidates to write about maybe 4 to 8 sentences is a perfect amount. As much as I would love to hear and read a whole essay about how this is going to help you, I don't have, unfortunately, time for that. So 4 to 8 sentences is a great amount. It's a good paragraph, and it lets us and the hiring managers get to know a little bit about you and if you would be a good fit for the internship position. Just a reminder, if you do have any other questions, you are welcome to submit them through the chat. And you can also email us at internships@mect.state.mn.us, and we will get back to you as soon as we can. You can also view and rewatch this session on our YouTube channel or on our website. If you do have any other questions or you're not sure about anything, you're welcome to add me on LinkedIn. Like I said, my name is Bethany Schultz, and you can follow up with questions there. It was great chatting with you guys and explaining a little bit about the council and our internship programs. Thanks for joining.